Hey guys, what's up? It's Wednesday and it is September 20th, I believe. And I started my chemotherapy 2 days ago, and a couple of people have written to me kindly. A lot of people actually have written to me kindly, asked me for some updates. I figured I would do a quick video update before the day got away from me. So I had my first chemo session Monday, and the chemo that I am doing is called CMF. It is a lighter form of chemo. It is a preventative measure. See, my phone's going crazy. It is a preventative measure to make sure my cancer does not come back. As you guys, a lot of you know, I had invasive lobular breast cancer. I was diagnosed in July. I had a bilateral mastectomy in August, and here we are in September, and I am starting chemotherapy. I had a PET scan on Friday. Let me go backwards. I had a PET scan Friday, and the PET scan, they essentially were looking to see if the cancer had spread anywhere else, and the good news is that it has not spread anywhere else. I'm going to knock wood, at least visibly. So the chemotherapy is essentially there to prevent any loose cells that may have escaped my breast and gone elsewhere in my body. It's supposed to kill them and make sure that they don't spread anywhere. Knock wood, like lots of wood. So that's why I am having chemotherapy. It's 8 sessions. And like I said, it's a lighter version of chemo. It's not the heavy duty chemo that they use to treat cancer. It's more of a lighter chemo that they use to just prevent future reoccurrences. That said, it still sucks. And I bow down to anybody that's having any chemo or any medical treatment for that matter, worse than this, because this really doesn't feel great. So let me tell you a little bit real quickly about what happened on Monday. Essentially, you go in, you take blood work. I didn't have to do it this time because I'm just starting chemo, but next time I will. And what they're doing is just making sure that your white blood cell count is good enough and high enough to get treatment. The reason being is that chemo is made to kill all of the rapidly producing cells in your body. But in addition to cancer, there's also white blood cells that are rapidly producing. So it does kill off some of the white blood cells, which is partly why you feel like such crap after. And you're more susceptible to getting sick and all sorts of things. So you get your vitals taken, they check your blood pressure, your oxygen, the whole thing. And then there's a lot of waiting during the day, a lot of waiting for this appointment, waiting for that appointment. But I am using the cold caps, which is essentially a helmet that goes on your head. And on top of the helmet, there's like another helmet and another helmet. It's really pretty awful. But what happens is with that cold cap, it's hooked up to a machine and it's running very, very, very cold water through the cold cap. And it's essentially freezing your scalp. And the point of that is that if it's freezing your scalp, it's constricting the blood vessels. And if you constrict the blood vessels, then what happens is the chemo doesn't get to that area. So essentially, in theory, I shouldn't lose as much hair as I would without it. With CMF, patients don't usually lose all of their hair. They can lose about 25 to 50% of their hair, but they don't typically lose all of it, although it happens sometimes. So I'm hoping that, let's say I'm supposed to lose 25 to 50%, that with the cold cap, it will reduce that. So I might still have some hair loss, but it will reduce it for me. And because I have a lot of hair, it hopefully won't make that much of a difference. Right now, my hair is really gross because you cannot wash your hair more than twice a week when you're on the cold caps. There's a whole bunch of different rules that you need to follow. You can't apply heat to your scalp. You can't wash your hair more than twice. You can't put your hair in ponytails. You can't use a brush. You have to only use a wide tooth comb. You have to use special shampoo and conditioner. You have to sleep on satin pillowcases. It's a whole list of things that you need to do. And I will follow that as closely as I can to make sure that I don't lose my hair. On the subject of losing hair, by the way, a lot of people were like, oh, I've lost my hair and I embrace it. By the way, if I was on that type of chemo and I was going to lose my hair, I would also embrace it. As far as losing my hair, it's not, I don't know how to explain this. It's not about the hair as much as it is. Like it is about the hair because I want to be able to look as normal as possible, and normal meaning like as my everyday. But it's not about losing the hair. It's about gaining control. And the cold caps and not losing my hair makes me feel like I have some sense of control over what's happening to me, because the truth is that cancer takes away all of your control. I have no control over, what I can wear right now. I have no control over, what I'm putting in my body. I have no control over canceling certain work jobs. I've said this before. There's a lot of things I've lost control over. So the cold caps sort of allow me to control what I can control, at least to a point. If they work, great. And if not, I will embrace whatever comes along with it. So the cold caps need to be on, for the cold cap needs to be on for a half an hour prior to starting chemo. Once I start chemo, I'm getting chemo through an IV. So essentially, they just put it in through the IV. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half for the whole thing to go into my body. During one of the chemo in particular, there's 3 medications they put in. During one of the medications, I suck on ice chips to freeze my mouth, essentially for the same reason, because that, as the hair, it constricts the blood vessels and keeps the chemo out of your mouth. And the reason for that is because that particular medication causes mouth sores. So if I suck on the ice and I do what they tell me to do after treatment, then hopefully I won't get any mouth sores. It's all very sexy, isn't it? So once I'm done with the chemo, I have to sit with the cold cap for another 2 hours. So the whole process from beginning to end took about 5 hours the other day. And it's not an enjoyable 5 hours. I'm going to be really honest with you. The actual chemo part of it is really not even that hard. If I was just doing chemo, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But the cold caps are really difficult. First of all, you feel like you have extreme brain freeze. It like burns your scalp. It hurts a lot, and it's so tight, and it's like right up under your chin, and it kind of feels like it's choking you, and it's just really uncomfortable. And I would say by like after treatment, I have to wear it for 2 hours. So by like an hour and a half after treatment, I was about to lose my mind. And I'm not a panicky person, but I really thought I was gonna have a panic attack. Like I just wanted it off my head. And in addition to taking chemo, they also give you other medications, like they give you Ativan to relax you. So this is even relaxed. I felt like I couldn't wait to get it off of my head. So it's anxiety producing, and it's uncomfortable, and there's lots of needles, and they're just poking and prodding you kind of the whole time. And then after, I forgot this step, by the way, between wearing the cold cap for the other 2 hours and finishing your chemo, they put this patch on me, which I don't have now, which maybe I'll show next time I do it. Essentially, when you do chemo, when you do it every 2 weeks, like I'm doing it, you need to have a shot the next day that helps raise your white blood cell count. And what it does is it basically indicates to the bone marrow that it's time to make more white blood cells. So there's a lot of joint pain and bone pain along with that, which I'm not yet experiencing so much, a little bit, but not a ton. Because your bone marrow is working overtime to produce more white blood cells. So what happens is they put this, instead of going back there the next day for a shot, because that's time consuming, they put this sort of patch on me that has the shot in it. So it beeps, it shoots you, it sticks the needle in, and then when it's ready for the medication to release, which is about 24 hours later, it will release the medication, which happened at about 6:30 last night. And you could feel it going in, and you could feel it felt like there was maybe other little micro mini shots. I'm not really sure, but it wasn't the most comfortable thing ever, but it only takes about a half an hour. You can't shower while you have it on, so it's 24 hours after chemo, you can't shower, and then you can peel it off, and then I took a nice shower last night. And yesterday, essentially, I woke up really tired. Oh, they also give you a steroid. So they gave me a steroid, and that basically boosts the system for about 2 days. So they say that you might not sleep, which if any of you know me, that just sucks because I don't sleep to begin with. So the first night was a little bit tough sleeping wise. So I was really tired yesterday, and I definitely felt nauseous. They gave you nausea medication. I definitely popped that. This morning, the nausea definitely did return. I was making my kids lunches this morning, and I was not feeling great. So I popped a pill, so I'm feeling a little bit better, and just a lot of exhaustion, really tired. I think you can even tell a little bit my energy's down a little bit today. I'm really trying to push through it, but I am really tired, really fatigued. And the best way I can explain it is for the women out there that have had children, it's sort of like the first trimester of pregnancy on crack. It's like a queasiness that I can relate to morning sickness, but more so, and an exhaustion like when you're first pregnant, but even more so. Like I hit the bed today and I passed out. I was so exhausted. Yes, they are giving me Zofran for nausea, and it's sort of working. I'm not going to say it's amazing. It's not amazing, but I'm holding back on taking anything stronger right now just because there's just so many medications in my body and I'm just kind of over that. So that's how I'm feeling now. So yesterday I gave myself a day on the couch. I actually caught up on a lot of emails and work, and I just kind of watched Bravo all day, and I let myself relax because I didn't get much sleep, and I was just really, it was like kind of like a post-stress, relief. But this morning I went to the gym, and I want to talk about that a little bit because I had posted about it, and I feel like it's super easy to post like, hey guys, I'm at the gym and I'm feeling great and things are awesome and I'm a rock star. The gym was really hard for me this morning. I really had to drag myself there. I really had to push myself to do anything, and I still can't do most of the stuff. Like still can't get my arms all the way up. That's about it. I can't get my arms super wide. I can't do chest work. There's a lot that I can't do. But um, being there and saying to my body, I don't give a shit if you're tired and you're nauseous. We're going to go do something good for ourselves is a decision. And I want to kind of talk about that a little bit because I think that this is where attitude makes a difference in any sort of situation where you can control what you can control. I can't control a lot of things that are going on with me right now. I can't necessarily control the nausea or the medication that they're putting into my veins or anything, but I can get my butt up and get to the gym. And even if it's like walking for 10 minutes on the treadmill and going home, at least I'm telling my mind and I'm telling my body, you're capable of doing these things. We're not going to let cancer and medication stop us. And even if I can't, deadlift 100 pounds like I used to be able to do, and I'm only doing 20 pounds, who cares? It's something. And I just think that those decisions that we make during difficult times apply to the decisions that we make all the time in our lives. And life is truly a decision. So I hear a lot of things from people that they don't like their jobs, or they don't like how busy their kids' schedules are, or they don't like going certain places, or they don't like doing certain things, or they don't, whatever it might be, or they're in unhappy marriages, or they're unhappy with their bodies. And I just really want to remind everybody that there's a lot of choices that you can make, even when your control is being taken away. And to hold on to those decisions that you can make, and really listen to your heart and make the decisions that you really feel are right for you. And for me today, it was going to the gym, and I'm not going to lie to you, I came home after the gym and I crashed. I was so tired, and I'm still so tired, but I'm not going to sit around and feel sorry for myself. I could have easily sat on the couch all day today and just watched TV and bummed out and been lazy, but I don't want to do that. I don't want that to be the decision that I make. So if you see me at the gym, you belong to my gym, give me a high five. Don't laugh at me because I'm lifting those little green 3-pound weights. I'm doing the best I can. But, it's a decision that I'm making right now, and I will continue to make decisions that I can make as I feel up to it. I'm not going to push myself to the point where, like, I'm really sick, but I'm making myself go to the gym. But on days that I feel well enough to do something, I'm going to do it. And it may not be the gym. Maybe it's just walking around the block. Maybe it's just, cooking dinner for my family. Maybe it's, answering a few emails or doing whatever. I don't know what the decisions are going to be every day, but every day I want to make a conscious decision that even if I'm feeling like crap, to do something that's good for me and not give in to all of the downsides of cancer. And I feel how that could really easily happen, even just after one chemo treatment, how easily you can get sucked into that cancer vortex of like, here I am, a cancer patient, and I should be resting, and I should be, doing certain things that I think cancer patients do. And I'm just going to fight that all the way as much as I can for myself. And if you're a cancer patient or you're having another medical issue and you can't fight through that, that's okay too. We have to really listen to our guts and do whatever we need to do every day to get through every day. And tomorrow I may wake up and go, screw the gym. I'm too tired. I don't feel well. I'm not into it. But that's a decision too. And today my decision is not to give in to cancer in any way, shape, or form. And, chemo can knock me out a little bit, but it's not going to knock me down. And that's just how I feel today. And I'm tired. And with that tiredness, I feel the emotions. Like I do feel like crying right now. I don't even know why. but I'm tired, and I'm just so looking forward to today's the Jewish New Year, by the way, you guys. Tonight's the Jewish New Year, so to all my Jewish friends out there, Shana Tova, Happy New Year. It's one of my favorite holidays. It's a new start. It's a new beginning. For me, I'm in the crux of everything that's going on in my life, and hopefully at the real New Year in January 1st, I will be done with chemo, and I'm really looking forward to that. So it's a little bit bittersweet for me today, and that might be part of my emotions, but one day at a time, right, guys? For everybody, not just for me, one day at a time. So I wanted to give a little bit of a description about chemo and how I feel after. And again, my heart and my prayers go out to all the cancer patients out there and everybody else struggling with anything medically related. It's not easy, but especially those who are having chemo way worse than me and stronger than me. I really bow to you. This sucks big time. And yeah, I'm sorry that you have to go through it. I'm sorry I have to go through it, but here's to a new year filled with health and happiness for everybody out there. Love you all.